Derrick?
What's the attention?
Derrick, I am Karen Watts. I'm the Chief Nursing Officer, and I'm here to bestow upon you our first Nurse Daisy Award for excellent and exceptional nursing care. So, yeah, so let's clap for Derrick. Okay. Let me explain to you. Do you know what the Daisy Award is?
I'm not sure. Somebody who does excellent work.
Yes, it is. It is. There's an international group that bestows a Daisy Award, and it's for exceptional, above and beyond care and care delivery by nurses. It was started by a patient's family. His name was Patrick Barnes, and he died of immunocompromised disease state, and he was in the hospital for a long time, but the nurses were excellent in the care. So his wife started the Daisy Foundation as a way to honor nurses because she was so impressed by nursing and the way that they had taken care of him as a patient. So we have joined up with Daisy to really be able to bestow this award. So we're now having people nominate different candidates for the Daisy Award, and you are our first recipient.
Well, I'm definitely honored.
Well, let me tell you why. Do you know why you're receiving the award?
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Well, here's what the story was that was written by you. I'm not reading the entire letter. It was lengthy, but you probably remember this letter. Here's what the patient wrote. Derrick Forrester, RN, is receiving the first Daisy Award presented at Northeast Georgia Health System. Derrick was nominated for this prestigious honor by a patient he cared for in April 2014. The patient shared with us that Derrick set the standard for me to judge all future caregivers and nurses. Wow, that is impressive and impactful. This letter that led to Derrick being nominated for the Daisy Award explained that the patient recently had a colonoscopy in his hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio, so he was traveling here on business. Shortly after his procedure, he flew to Cornelia, Georgia. While in Cornelia, he began bleeding and went to Habersham Medical Center where he was treated and released. Bleeding continued after his release, and his co-workers from Georgia rushed him to Northeast Georgia Medical Center where he was admitted. Derrick Forrester ended up being his nurse. Even with the continued and worsening bleeding, the physicians held off on starting blood transfusions. However, eventually Derrick was able to convince the physician they needed to be started right away. The patient ended up with three transfusions during his stay. During this time, the patient's wife flew from Cincinnati to be with her husband. Derrick spent time with the family and made them feel cared for by having a conversation with them about their lives, backgrounds, and goals. And in the letter that he wrote, he talked about how you made him feel like a person. You talked to him about everyday things which got his mind off of the fact that he was in the hospital and having these issues. Derrick shared about his past in New York and Jamaica. During these conversations, Derrick learned that it was his wife's birthday the following day, and he went out of his way to wish her a happy birthday at midnight. Derrick promised he would take care of me, Derrick told him. If there was anything I wanted, he would get it. Derrick took the time to learn about my wife and myself, that we are the patients, and that was shared with Derrick. He further stated that at his local Cincinnati church, they have a saying outside their building that says, "Small things done with great love can change the world." Derrick was an example of this statement, and he has set the standard for me to judge all future caregivers and nurses. Derrick, we are honored to award you the first ever NGHS Daisy Award. Congratulations. And we have a surprise for you.
It's coming back. We're FaceTiming him, so he just saw you get the award.
He wanted to.
Just lost
he was watching you receive the award.
Yes.
Yes.
There he is.
Yeah. Hi.
Thank you very much for that letter. It means a lot. Okay?
Can you hear?
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
That is awesome.
Derrick, this is Gina. Actually, she is his co-worker from Georgia, and so she is here.
And she brought a picture.
How much better he was doing on his last day here, and he sent me with specific instructions to give you a hug.
He wrote a beautiful letter. The letter, that's a little bit shortened version of the letter, but it was really beautiful. And you made all the difference in his life and his wife.
Well, I'm glad I was able to make a difference. You know, this is what it's all about. It's all about patience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you demonstrated it.
All right.
We're giving you, this is the Daisy Award for Extraordinary Nurses, so this is what the award looks like, part of it. You also, as part of the Daisy Award and the Daisy nomination, there is a plaque that you get, or let's see where, there it is, a sculpture that is made for Daisy Award recipients. And so we want to give you this in honor of your Daisy. And here's your Daisy pin that you get. And you and your co-workers get Cinnabons, which are yeah, so for all of you that joined in, here's your Cinnabons that you can share with your team.
Definitely.
And thanks that it's a team effort.
Karen, thank you so much.
And there's our flowers. I don't know what this is. Here's your daisy flowers that we'll put over here. But she'll love the daisies. Okay. And then there's some more.
And then we have a banner that we will hang. These hang in the department of the employee that wins. So we will hang this for you.
With your name on there?
Yeah, your name. We'll put a picture on the other end.
Yes.
Yep.
And this is your daisy bag for you to put your things in. Okay.
And then in here is a copy
Except
of
for
the
your cinnamon
nomination.
rolls. So.
And a little bit, the story about the Healer's Touch sculpture. It's a really beautiful story. It's in there. And here's a little bit about the Daisy Foundation you can share with your employees. And Kleenex just in case you cry. And the Cinnabons, the significance of that was the gentleman that this foundation was started because of. That was his favorite, that was his all-time favorite go-to food. And so Cinnabon partners with the Daisy Foundation to give Cinnabons to the units of the winter.
Yes.
So y'all enjoy.
Okay. Thank you.
Really appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
He wants to talk to you.
Here, I'm gonna flip you around. Hang on.
Hey, Mr. Dennis, how are you? Thank you very much for the kind words. Really appreciate it. I'm glad I was able to make a difference in your life. Okay?
Appreciate how you did it.
All right. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Here.
All right.
Thanks, Derek.
Okay. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Dennis, and I'll follow up with you with videos and pictures and stuff like that, okay? Absolutely, thank you.
Alright, we'll see you, Dennis. Bye.
Would be another future Daisy. I expect more. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And your friends can have some Cinnabons.
Okay, all right. We're good. Derek, have a good night.
Okay.
Thank you for everything, my friend.
Thank you. All right. All right. Bye.